So when did they start calling Cleveland the land? Like, when did that start?
Oakland has been the town since, I don't know, for forever. They were like, Oakland or the Warriors, they just stole that from Cleveland.
Right.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I do wonder, did LeBron break his hand from the brooms falling down on him from the temple? Is that what happened? If so, you got to watch out. There was a lot of brooms dropping. There was a lot of brooms dropping that night. Hey, folks. Welcome to Let's Go Warriors. I'm Daniel Hardee. You may know me as the Gold-Blooded King. And I have a special guest. Because when you say the name Gold-Blooded King, you got to have Dr. Tom with it. We've got Dr. Thomas Bevilacqua. Good, sir. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing quite fine. Ready to talk a little great moments in Warriors history. Talk about some fun times.
There was nothing more fun than winning a championship. Something the Golden State Warriors have done 3 times in the last 6 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
And by the way, this belt has been worn by Jacob Evans. Okay, it is real. It's authentic. But yeah,
that makes it real if Jacob Evans wore it.
Oh yeah, for sure. When you look at the fact that Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, they all have their championship rings from playing against the same team in the finals. 4 straight finals, same 2 teams, Warriors and Cavs. And then going to this weekend's matchup, Warriors and Cavs, and both teams are plummeting as fast as they can toward the lottery. I think it's very fascinating to see like where we were, where we are now, and maybe the top 5 subplots between those contentious, aggressive, poetic, beautiful finals. And Dr. Tom, what is the first topic that you want to bring up as far as underlying storylines that made those 4 finals so epic to watch?
Well, why don't we start with the perceived and perhaps actual lack of respect shown by LeBron James towards our own, the golden child, the baby-faced assassin, the one, the only, the unanimous. That was the thing that ran throughout all of these finals. You got the sense that it wasn't just LeBron wanting to win. He didn't really win that much, but that it was like he didn't believe Steph deserved this. He didn't believe Steph was as great as Steph is. It gave this rivalry just such a spice because you had this sense of this real disrespect. And you go through Kendrick Perkins sitting on the sidelines, not playing, but still getting into it. Like I say, that animus. And this wasn't just coming from the Twitter conversation.
Well, absolutely. I think there certainly was a disdain there. And we've seen, Marcus Thompson of The Athletic talk about some of those things where if LeBron was one of several veterans who, when Steph Curry was coming up and his team was trash, it was all good, it was all love. But the minute he starts, balling out and his team starts getting wins and going to the playoffs repeatedly, all of a sudden they felt like he didn't, deserve or earn that level of status just yet. And as Warriors fans who saw Steph get drafted and saw his ankles not work for several years, it was a miracle from God for us. So we were like, this is truly the chosen one. And so for LeBron James, a guy who, while dominating the sport in so many ways, I mean, he's LeBron James. Let's not get it twisted. King James, they call him, I'm saying? Straight from Akron.
When this little, like I said, when the baby-faced assassin came for the king, and make no mistake, he came, he saw, and he conquered.
To LeBron's credit, there have been several instances of him, giving a shout out because he was forced to by greatness. But there has been a lengthy history of just pure shade between LeBron and Steph. Steph never openly addressed it beyond, 2 guys hooping, but he had some very, very funny slight little distance there, you know what I mean? When he was apologizing for the team being healthy in the 2015 series, as when Cavaliers were hurt. And you know what? That might be the number 2 subplot. The injuries thing, man. Like, I know we look at Doc Rivers, the guy who said, Warriors got lucky, and quite frankly, Doc Rivers was right. Like, to win a championship, you must have luck, as we saw from Kevin Durant, DeMarcus Cousins, and Klay's knee exploding. Like, you need a little bit of luck there. And so my problem was, okay, so Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love go down, and you take a 2-1 lead back to the Cleveland, and the Warriors won 3 straight. Okay, take it like a real champion and say you win some, you lose some. But for LeBron, the next year during the 73-win season, when they were asking him, "Hey LeBron, like, what do you think of what the Warriors are doing?" and he responds back with, "They're the healthiest team I've ever seen." This is a real quote. This is a real quote. He said they're the healthiest team I've ever seen. What kind of salty stuff is that, bro?
Good Lord. I'd forgotten about that, or I had, it just had not crossed my transom. But God, that's ridiculous. This might be overstating it, but it changed. I feel like it changed how we talk about basketball, because it was the LeBron moving the goalpost, because it was, well, they, like you said, if you go through, and I know there have been people who've written about this, you go through probably every championship in NBA history, and there's some luck, and you need to be healthy. Kareem was injured in the 1980 NBA Finals, but it was just like, okay, that happened. And of course, Magic Johnson went out there and balled out and took care of business. But it happened. Nobody cared. Like, yeah, you got hurt. You had to deal with injuries. That was just part of the game. It happens. And just to invalidate a championship and
I mean, you say that as someone who must have seen your own team win championships and then fall perhaps because of injuries, and yet you never complained once. Is that true, Dr. Tom?
Like, I'm speaking hypothetically. If someone wanted to comment on 2016, losing Andrew Bogut and also having Andre Iguodala's back locked up,
right.
And also have LeBron snitch on Draymond Green, but that's which is a more egregious crime than any injury. Yeah, I'm so frustrated by this.
Dude, it's real. I mean, it's real, especially considering the fact that you didn't even mention Stephen Curry coming back super fast from his knee injury in 2016. That's why I love the Warriors, because even though it was clear to see, they were like, hey, Steph had a chance to be out there. He had a chance. He didn't get the job done. It is what it is. And I compare that to LeBron James at the end of Game 4 in 2018, when he came to the post-game conference podium with a cast on, saying his hand was broke, and maybe it did get broken. However, I do wonder, did LeBron break his hand from the brooms falling down on him from the top of the pool? Is that what happened? If so, you gotta watch out. There was a lot of brooms dropping. There was a lot of brooms dropping that night. Think about, in terms of pure trolling, we can never forget Steph Curry showing just what a Kobe-level antagonist he was capable of being when they asked him about coming back for the first time to Cleveland after he was a champion already. And his response was, as the MVP of the league, wow, I hope it still smells like champagne.
Yeah, he's the babyface assassin.
Let's talk about the Cavaliers' Halloween celebration after 3-1.
And you got the 3-1 cookies, and I think that they have you had to step over a doll of something of one
Splash
of the
Bros.
Yeah, all this stuff at the Cavaliers Halloween party and so on and so forth. And you wonder then why, okay, the Warriors are going to be pissed, and they're going to try to, make their team even better and sign a certain player.
Hold on. Before we can get to that part.
All right, we got to get
we got to go back to Draymond, though. Draymond at the parade, the first parade, was real disrespectful.
Yup.
Do the Cavaliers suck?
Yup.
Are we here?
Yup.
Are they here?
Nope. And then, in 2017, the Quickie shirt,
Oh, wow. Yeah. They were really, really trolling LeBron. And LeBron trolled right back. It was a great series because the trolling was out of this world. But then I think the ultimate troll job was something you mentioned. they went out and signed somebody. I'm talking about David West. No, David is right. No. I'm sorry. Someone even bigger than him. His name Zaza. Wait.
No. Bigger and more athletic. It was JaVale McGee.
What? They signed him. Tom, do you know someone who went to your university, University of Texas? You know what I'm saying? Is there anyone from there that the Warriors might have picked up?
Yes. July 4th, 2016, the
Independence Day.
Yeah, Kevin Durant got his independence from the state of Oklahoma. And he decided to join this rivalry, and it was a major part of it because whether it's his arrival, it was the escalation of this. It kind of finished it when they got KD. It was like, okay, this thing's a wrap. We all know who's there's no question. But
the Spurs didn't know that.
Hey, remember what we were just saying about injuries?
I want to take a moment right now to plug Dr. Tom's book. Dr. Tom, can you talk about your book that you published on the behalf of all Warriors fans everywhere?
Golden Age, the Brilliance of the 2018 champion Golden State Warriors. It's available at your favorite online retailers. I wrote it. It was about that last year of the matchups between the Warriors and the Cavs, and I think that it really cemented. Rivalry. It's sort of like the hammer and the nail, but when KD came, it was something else. It was one of the most dominant performances for a player in KD. What he did in those finals, he surpassed LeBron. I'll just say it right now.
But just looking back on it, LeBron was going off, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It didn't matter that he was going off. And I think that's what made everyone who didn't like the Warriors so frustrated, because you've got LeBron putting up an all-time great performance in addition to Kyrie dropping 29, 4 and 4 per game. Kyrie shot 41% from downtown and 47% from the field. Wow, those numbers are ridiculous. And they didn't matter because the Warriors just had them pretty much in control. Like, the Warriors were like, we know how to get these guys. Even though it was a tight series. Well, I guess as tight as a 5-game series can be. But it's fascinating to me that all I can think about is Kevin Durant's performance, because he was so, as you said, electric. That shot he hit in Game 3 over LeBron to basically seal the series, it was just like, dude, that was a terrible shot, I thought at the time. I know it was his finishing move. The only thing worse than that for Cleveland fans would be if that same nuclear bomb that dropped happened again.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm over here just drinking splash water, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It really made me appreciate just how good basketball can be, like in its purest form. I think the Warriors showed a lot of.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to stop it in its purest form, because it's always the right decision. And watching that kind of basketball where it was always the right decision, contrasted with the isolation style. The Warriors had, as Kobe called it in his ESPN breakdown series, the Golden Democracy, where everyone goes off. The Cavaliers was like, it's going to be LeBron or Kyrie or maybe Kevin Love, and they were still not only destroying the Eastern Conference, but presenting real problems for the Golden State Warriors to figure out. And it was just like, eventually they would both get exhausted in the fourth quarter and start missing shots. But the fact that they tried that, Kyrie, LeBron taking turns, won one title with it, is a testament to how great those guys were, and why, as Warriors fans, you can never just completely write them off. You have to be like, keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, it felt like, now that we're in this new stage of things where the Cavaliers are rebuilding, the Warriors are in the midst of this lost season. We're both in the cellar. When I think back on those series, it's like you say, like, those were battles. those were just of great teams and great players, different styles and all this stuff like clashing. You saw it with the Warriors, it's, like I say, especially that 2017 team. If you could take that 2017 team, especially the Hamptons 5, and just like put them in a time capsule and preserve them, it just like that is the greatest that's the greatest unit, and that's the greatest basketball team in the history of the game.
As Warriors fans, it was like, well, hey, whoever got the hot hand, do your thing. Like, hey, Andre Iguodala, how about you just start and win Finals MVP? Like, we don't care. Strength of numbers, you know what I mean? So when you get Andre Iguodala coming in and like literally willing the Warriors to a championship and not be the best player on the team or even in that series, because Steph actually had a pretty good series if you erase the 1 or 2 games Matthew Dellavedova got away with fouling him every time. Like, I was thinking of that. I was like thinking of subplots. Let's all take a moment and remember that Matthew Dellavedova was the Curry stopper. I have to give credit to LeBron James and Kyrie, but most LeBron, he's there mostly, for his ability to stare directly into the face of a dynasty and be like, I don't believe in it. You got to show it to me. And he forced the Warriors to learn so many lessons playing against physical defenses, how to defend a superstar who can do anything. What the Warriors realized from those series helped them so much against everybody else, because they've seen LeBron James, arguably the greatest of the generation, and some say all time. They've seen him in full fury. Yeah. And they beat him again and again and again. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at the close of day. Rage against the dying of the light. I mean, that is what LeBron, he did not go gentle into that good night. But he went. He went all the same. Couldn't stop it. You could only put it off. Yeah. And that's why there are many new banners that hung in Chase Center, or now hang in Chase Center, did hang in Oracle. Right behind you. I can see Oracle behind you. Yeah, there it is. It's like it's really there. But none of them or only one that hangs in Quicken, the Quickie. I mean, the Quicken Loans Arena. Champaign City. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm just like glad it's still standing after Kevin Durant demolished it in consecutive years. That's got to be hard on the foundations of a building. It usually doesn't end well. You were all for that, Arkansas. You were all for that, bro. I mean, damn, so many good memories. And while those memories were happening, it was awesome to be able to share them, on the old blog team with you, and hear your always hilarious insights. And your book is awesome about that time period. And any Warriors fan, or even a Cleveland Cavaliers fan who wants to see what true greatness looks like, I recommend that you take a look at his book, and you'll find out so much about the Warrior way and what it takes to ruin a franchise forever. And thank you, Dr. Tom, for joining me today. And I hope that there are more Warriors versus Cavaliers battles to come in the future. It'll be nice. Maybe 20 years from now, they'll be flashing back like, remember back in the late 2010s when these teams met in the finals? Well, now they're both good again. Like, and we'll be like, man, these young kids suck. They can't play. What are they doing? Why are they shooting it from half court? No, you got to shoot from 3-point range, not half court. All facts. And I'm assuming Dr. Tom and I will be still talking mess about the Warriors and their opponents until then. So thank you for joining us. And as always, let's go Warriors.